its best performance, particularly down in the bot lane when you're getting destroyed by a Blitzcrank. It was a struggle. It was a struggle. I don't think that was representative necessarily of what we're going to get from Milio for the rest of this tournament, but we're into draft once again, so let's see what we are going to get. No mid ban, yeah.
Straight into a couple of bans. Let's see where to from here. Change up in the bans. Obviously you're not going to see Nico. And it looks like there's going to be a bit more focus.
Blitz ban.
On that Team Thailand. Okay, there's the target ban coming through from Team Malaysia. So they didn't like that blitz. They didn't like what our mates Jinglu was doing in that bot lane. And let's see where we go now. So Fiora's going to be taken out. Maybe there's a read that Shine is one of those players. Yeah. And they just really don't want him to have too much fun up there. Although, look, Trin's still open. Maybe we see him just go for that. Of course, there certainly are a couple of counters that could come through. But for the moment, let's see what Team Malaysia are going to be picking. Looks like they are going to stay on that blue side. Team Thailand running it back on red. And there's going to be Milio picked up again. So looks like the same game plan is going to attempt to be executed.
Yeah, I don't think that was a bad game plan at all for Team Malaysia. I just think that they misplayed the bot lane. It's not as if that is a bot lane that you should struggle as much as they did in. You should definitely have some difficulty. Like Blitzcrank should win into that matchup if he's hitting hooks, and he was. But I think there was definitely some situations where they probably could have been a little bit more aware of what was going on around the map and maybe not getting caught off by the jungle roam down into the bot lane. Do have the Senna coming through alongside the Ahri, so it's obviously a big change up as far as Team Thailand is concerned. Ahri straight in towards the mid lane, no questions about that. Senna, going to be interested to see how that does match up down in the bot lane against Shine. Once again, we're seeing pretty much the exact same draft order from Team Malaysia, so I wouldn't be hugely surprised to even see another Aphelios through here. Is it going to be a little bit of a concern maybe that they're going to be going up against something different in the bot lane? Maybe. So they've gone for the Jace instead.
Yeah.
And they'll just keep things in check and wait to see maybe what the rest of the composition from Team Thailand is going to offer before they commit to that bot and top matchup. And it certainly, again, seems like top is going to be really the priority here for Team Malaysia, leaving it till quite late in the draft. So
a little bit of artillery, trying to go for a slight difference there. You don't think that we're going to see Jace top? You think that's going mid for sure?
I mean, it's definitely a possibility. Yep. It's definitely a possibility, but traditionally you'd probably be looking to see it in the mid lane. Yep. I think it's a nice flex pick. But if what we've seen from Shine is anything to go by, I don't know if Jace is going to be the champion that he wants to be angling towards. I think he might have been a little bit more on the money there with the Fiora, with the Tryndamere, with the sort of hyper carry top laner.
Aggressive melee champs. And of course on the other side, you have that Ahri coming through, even the Senna.
What I will say though is that they don't have a whole lot of AP on the board right now for Team Malaysia, so if you're going to go for the Jace and it is going to be put in towards the mid, you're also playing up against the Malphite in the top. You definitely don't want to be picking an AD top laner. Yeah. I mean, look, to an extent, yeah, you've got some AP damage coming through from the Maokai in the jungle, but realistically, he's not a damage dealer. So I think, Gwen, perfect ban actually coming through there for Team Thailand. I was going to say that's probably the best option right now in the current meta to deal with this kind of a situation that Malaysia find themselves in. So what else have they got in the back pocket there as far as top laners are concerned? Or do we just go back toward that more traditional kind of tanky setup? Are we going to see maybe a Sion versus Malphite matchup? Are we just going to see things like maybe Gragas in the top lane as well coming through from Shine? And in that case, then it's really just going to be a straightforward standard game from Team Malaysia. But you have to have a much better bot lane than what they did last game.
I need to point out as well that this center pick is certainly off meta. We've seen it only 9 times so far going into this season since MSI. So it's something that maybe we're going to see Jinglu a little bit stronger on.
Yeah, this is a pretty scary front line coming through from Team Thailand. You can imagine
they got the Vi in there too.
Yeah, the Malphite into the Vi. Like, if you're a backliner, if you're a Milio, or again, I was going to say the Aphelios is an option, but I'm not sure I'd be going for it in this game. Xayah actually a little bit of a safer pick. Can be a little bit more self-sufficient.
Yep.
Ultimate
backwards as well.
Yeah, exactly, and it's a perfect point because Team Thailand, they want to operate forwards with this kind of composition. They want to be diving. This is very much a dive, get in on top of your opponent kind of a composition. You got Vi, Malphite, Ahri, so they all want to be jumping in on top of the ADC, and in this case, I mean, perfect answer to that is going to be the Xayah. Well, I mean, we did talk about it. We did say they need a bit of AP up in that top lane. They needed to find a way to incorporate some of that into your composition. And Vlad, again, is not a bad choice in this one, right? It's just going to be a very slow kind of a lane up against that Malphite. He'll be able to farm up. As Vlad farms up, he scales quite nicely into the late game. Also, a pretty good answer into a composition that, again, wants to run at you, right? When they run at you, you drop that ultimate down on top of them. All of a sudden, boom, there you go. If they don't get some picks with those,
ground.
if they don't get some picks with those ultimates coming through from the Malphite and the Vi, then actually, in terms of the war of attrition, the Team Malaysia composition is just going to come out a little bit ahead. So, you know, again, I see the approach for Team Thailand, but I do feel like a lot kind of has to go right for them to make this work. And you have the Lux picked up as well in the bot lane, Mac. It's an interesting choice. It's not something that's super standard, is it? You know, you normally do get to see this one from your ranked supports, and sometimes you cringe a little bit when you do see it, but it can have some value if you get some good damage early. If you can actually snowball that bot lane, you do have, in a sense, a bit of a secondary carry coming through from that Lux. So again, you know, it sort of feels like the same kind of idea in terms of we need to win the game early here as Team Thailand. We're not going to scale super well into the late game, whereas Team Malaysia, playing something a little bit more standard, should be able to win this in the long term if they don't get behind too far. But I don't think it's unreasonable from Team Thailand to look at this and expect that they can actually pull ahead in the bot lane early on in the piece.
Keen to see how the Lux operates in this one too. So the center actually moving into that ADC slot will be quite interesting to see how it all goes down. And I feel like Milio going to be a much better pick this game, considering how much CC is potentially going to rain down from Team Thailand. But we'll see if there's going to be some early skirmishes again. Of course, there was before, or there was an attempt with those hooks starting to come through in game number 1. And it looks like we're going to be kicking things off with the old Hextech Drake as that first objective.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's see how this one does end up playing out. 3 teleports for Team Thailand. So I wonder what shenanigans they're going to be getting up to. It's always a bit of a discussion point when you're playing something like a Lux support. You know, you don't really want to be taking Ignite because you're not going to be in range to be using it if you're playing Lux optimally. You don't want to take Barrier because that's playing quite selfishly. So you can maybe think about taking Exhaust, but you don't really have an Exhaust target on the side of Team Malaysia right here. So the only other option would be maybe to take the heal and give your ADC the opportunity to take the Barrier. But you know, teleport's going to give you the opportunity to be all over the map, and so that is potentially going to be a little useful. And even in this case, again, we'll have to wait and see what the item selections are, but it might end up just being the Senna taking the items, taking the opportunity to be the carry, taking the creeps, I should say, and fasting Senna potentially.
It'll be interesting to see how much value Lux is going to be able to get out of this bot lane. But we'll see what Him is going to be able to do here. Caspiel going to be chunked away at. Of course, looking to farm up that passive, farm up that range.
Well, there you go. You're going to get that confirmed that it is the fasting Senna.
Yep.
So it will end up being Jingliu to try to take as many creeps as possible. So a little bit of a change up.
Yeah. And of course, there's going to be that heavy AP burst damage coming through with that, and also Nguyen playing the Ahri. We'll see if he's going to be more utility. We'll see what build he ends up going for, if he's going to move towards the Everfrost or go for something different. Not too sure what other options he'd be leaning towards. And Arashi already going for that bot clear, thinking about maybe making his way in, but he's going to be spotted out. Or is he? You can see that Team Thailand are thinking about it, but they've got this space. Okay, little bind starting to come through. The root is there, and oh, we are going to see Seramu gone skis. Just sacrificial lamb to try and keep Jinglu alive. But look, just popping level 3 early. Arashi, nice gank to kick things off. Pillow, oh, he doesn't have a lot of health here to play with. We'll charge up that. Oh, you fully know the insane miss, and now things are going to turn around.
Yeah, indeed. You'd expect the Vi to win in the 1v1, but ultimately, you know, missing a couple of your skill shots isn't going to help out until Arashi's going to walk out there. Okay. Something that I was going to say about things was, down in that bot lane, you do need to be really, really aware. When you're playing a Senna as a support, And by the way, we'll see the solo bolo up in the top lane. Shine gets himself a kill. It's Malphite down out of the pit. What on earth are we watching right now? This is an absolute mess. Kills all over the place. An invade comes through from Team Malaysia. It doesn't work out. That may not have been super necessary given they had the advantage down in bot and already in top. You don't need to play that aggressively, but end of the day, I guess it's not the end of the world. But what I wanted to say about this bot lane matchup was that I think it's going to be quite difficult for Team Thailand if you're going to see a lot of jungle presence down there. They can't afford to be pushing the lane like that with no vision and playing a Senna Lux, which is just not a very mobile bot lane at all. You don't have anyone to get you out of dodge. You don't have any dashes. You've got your flashes, sure, but even as far as the crowd control is concerned, you're both really relying on potentially some difficult skill shots to hit with the Senna W and the Lux Q. So if you're going to push the lane like that, you definitely need to be getting the wards down. We'll take a look back at the replay here of what happened in the jungle. I'm not sure really what the thought process there was. Obviously, Arashi feeling like he was quite confident in the jungle matchup. And Felia, I mean, that's one of those situations where as a support, you probably do just have to look at things and say, maybe it's not worth trying to help my jungler out here. Nonetheless, advantages being taken up in the top lane and in the mid lane as well will look pretty good for Team Malaysia. So a bit of a back and forth exchange in mid. Nothing really happening across the map. Again, Team Thailand really pushing hard in that bot lane, which is going to be a little bit of a problem for them because Caspiel just wants to turn that fight around. There's a lot of burst when you've got a Xayah involved. And that is the danger of playing something like a Lux Senna, which is a very squishy bot lane. You feel like you've got the advantage, but you just don't really have the burst there, especially until level 6 when Lux can get that final spark out. So once again, Arashi just doing a little bit of ward clearing, thinking about potentially making his way into the jungle of his opponent, but will make the correct decision this time and avoid that. I mean, mid and top don't really seem to be popping off too hard. Mostly just farm lanes. I guess a little bit of a mistake made by Yummy losing the first blood, but you are playing up against an Ignite, so it makes sense, I suppose. You want to be winning that lane if you're taking Ignite. You're playing for yourself rather than for the team, so you need to get some value out of it, and it's good to see for Shine that he was able to do so. Jungle being pinged by a couple of the teams. Not sure that we're really going to see a commitment on that just yet. No one necessarily feels like they've got too much priority at the current point in time.
Crazy scene of events, of course. Now, moving into the 7th minute, of course. Looks like the bot lane has been a fun time for everyone. A couple of components already picked up here. And of course, Sayumo's going to be aiming for way later on in the game. What we got, looks like first Drake is going to be attempted here by Pillow. And it looks like it won't be contested. Maokite going to be up towards that top side, going for the scuttle instead. And I don't think it's going to be fully spotted out either. Yeah, this vision slight to the side, but I don't think they have quite been seen here.
It's definitely something you can do on the Vi. You know, she has quite a lot of single target damage, so you can get through the dragon pretty quickly. It's
good sustain too.
Not really something, yeah, exactly. It's not really something that you're going to see from like a Maokai. Maokai's going to need a little bit of help, but the Vi can get it done definitely solo. In response, though, you will be giving up your own red buff. Arashi at least trying to find advantages elsewhere on the map.
Nice one to take. Should be able to escape away easily. Oh, Fire's on the way down, but it looks like we're coming straight down to bot lane here. So again, going to be in trouble, but we'll be able to heal up there. Good damage, won't get the root off, and Caspiel dropping the ult to try to escape away. Featherstorm won't get damage, but it will allow him to live.
Yeah, but pulling those feathers back right at the back end does manage to put a bit of damage in. Issue here is that you're taking a really awkward base for Caspiel and for Felia. You're going to be missing a lot of that wave. You'll also be giving up some towers, and to be fair, that's kind of the scenario that you want to be seeing when you're playing the Lux, but in that bot lane. I'm still feeling like the scaling is going to be a little bit better. There's the ultimate coming through for the Malphite, and that's exactly what you want to be seeing. Arashi not tanky enough just yet on that Maokai. What can Shine do to salvage this one and turn it back around? Has got the assistance of Sleep. And this is once again, Mac, looking like it might end up being a little bit of a top div.
Certainly might be.
Sleep with the snipe onto the Ari! You can't be making that mistake. You can't be recalling right there in vision. The Jace is always going to be looking for the kill.
That's it. Just the extra range there. And, mate, you have made a grave mistake. That one certainly could come back to bite them later on. It's going to be Nuinir's first death. Maybe just wanted to get out of there. Didn't want that wave to get pushed in. But as you mentioned, on vision, that is just a bad decision. Could have just kept running, go down to the T2, keep it safe. But trying to cheat those timings didn't work out this time. Shine, quite low here.
Well, I mean, that is a bit of a fallacy sometimes when you're playing up against the Vladimir, because very quickly they can heal back on up.
Nature's Grasp, we're going for a dive angle here for Team Malaysia, who full health players now. And what are they going to be able to do? They're living the shield. It's good enough, and Jinglu may have just made this happen. Looks like the ult's not going to be enough to scare Castiel away. They're thinking about it. They're just trying to clear the wave and make this dive happen for a second time, but the resources are starting to lower on both sides. Jinglu going to be copping that ball.
Arashi wants it, you can tell. Arashi wants it, but the bot lane is saying, please, do not do it. That would be a massive throw. I mean, you need to have the ultimates available. Look at him, he's gone.
Going back in. Man's hungry. He's hungry, but he's been baited, and now it's going to be turning around in favor of Team Thailand. Again, can they find more value? Belly is so low, there's no dot on him, and he's barely alive. There's no vision of what's going on, and he's going to back right there. That's insane. Sayumu, is he going to be able to find it? Oh, the Q is barely missed now. Can he close the distance? Oh, there it is, and the double kill comes through. Insane play coming through from Team Thailand.
I don't know about that.
Or was it a misplay?
I think that was an...
It's not done. We're not done. Sleeps comes down to the party too. Man is looking for damage, and he's going to scare away Sayomu.
I mean, Mac, if you want to talk about insane plays, I'm just going to say I think that was an insane play from Arashi. What on earth was that? He's just jumped straight in onto Team Thailand. Velia and Caspiel wanted none of it, and he's going to get taken down as well. This is absolute madness, Mac.
Madness, mayhem, my kind of League of Legends.
I don't know if this is what I want to be seeing, but yeah, I think Caspiel and Velia are more than happy to just stay down there and farm, but Arashi's really trying to push the issue this game. 0-4 though. And once again, we're going to have to look towards the top to be the difference maker. There is going to be a fight in mid, but the Malphite arrives. Is it enough to save Ari? Not quite. But it does still end up resulting in a 2-4-1 trade. And so Team Thailand making use of that CC.
Insane. Insane series of events. And it's just fight after fight. We're only 12 minutes in, and there's more kills than in one of the games I casted yesterday. It's just all happening, all happening. And look, the brawl, it's slightly favouring, you'd say, Team Thailand. Of course, they do have that first objective. They have that dragon in the back pocket, and, mate, they've got almost $1,000 difference. So we'll see if the 1K gold is going to be dragged out too, or if Team Malaysia is going to be able to find some answers somewhere else, and that might be in the form of plates over towards that top lane. But let's look at it all again.
Oh, really nice sidestep from Sleep. And that's the danger when you're playing a Lux support. There's just nothing you can do. If you miss your binding, you're done. And another dive in the top lane. Solo kill from Shine. Knows exactly what he has to do.
You've got the plate and the solo kill under the turret. That's complete insanity. We're going to have this rotation as well from Nuinir. Vi going to try to pick up mid in the meanwhile. It looks like he's just going to waltz back down to mid after clearing the wave.
Yeah, I mean, Vladimir is one of those champions as well. When you start to get behind, it feels like he just does unreasonable amounts of damage.
Yeah.
Even though, you know, sometimes when you're playing Vlad, you just are wondering, where is my damage? But this is basically worst case scenario up in the top lane again for Team Thailand. So Malaysia, I mean, it's looking a little bit better for them, I'd say, this game across the board. The only real sticking point is Arashi's not having a great one here on the Maokai. Just trying to be a little bit too greedy in a couple of instances. Here potentially is yet another one of them. Velia forced to ulti early.
Ooh, that Nature's Grasp is going to deal with the bot lane, even with the TP in. It looks like Team Malaysia, they want to fight this one. Yummy jumping straight onto Sleep now. They want to take him out before he gets out of hand, but it looks like it's not going to happen just yet. Velia going to be rooted up. Nice binding to allow that pick off, and now there's no support, now there's no healing. Let's see if Team Thailand can find more off the back of this.
Yeah, once again, poor old Velia is just going to be the punching bag, essentially, for Team Malaysia after not really wanting that fight. That's a very awkward fight for the bot laners to be taking when there's a Lux over the wall with no vision. You didn't have any vision of that. the pink ward down over the top of the Team Malaysia ward in the bush. So Caspiel and Felia don't even really feel comfortable walking in there, but ultimately 1-for-1 trade. I guess it's not the end of the world, particularly when Shine is just getting so much work done up in that top lane. And live win percentage leaning just a little bit toward Team Malaysia. I have a bit more faith than maybe the win percentage tracker there, but overall, I'm still in this fight.
Yeah, Herald going to be going for a charge at bot, and it might be able to get that off just before the plates fall at the 14-minute mark, but it looks like it's going back. Oh no, things have not gone right at all. Okay. Will it go? 7 seconds? Okay. Plenty of time, plenty of time. I got baited for a moment.
It's all good in the hood.
Yeah, mate. Over towards top as well. In the meanwhile, while that's all happening, Shine, he's taking a wave under the tower as well as that first tower. But money going to be shared everywhere. There was a lot of plates taken here by Team Malaysia and Team Thailand.
I was so confused by what I just saw there.
Yeah.
Because the map was taking a little bit too long to update. The Vi just walks through the wall, but it was the Infernal Drake.
Of course. Well.
Okay, good preemptive TP from Sleep. Just going to keep Team Thailand at bay. You're not going to lose too much out of that either, because Shine's just going to walk his way into mid instead of passing top, and so we'll be able to hold on to the mid tower. But I mean, this is interesting, right? Isn't it, from Team Malaysia? Like, they know Team Thailand is right here. They're going to put themselves in this situation, and it could go very wrong. Let's see what Sleep can do about it. Ulti right on top of him. Does not get allowed to move. I just have to question. Oh. They knew, Mac. They knew.
They knew. And that Featherstorm was used sideways. It looked like there was split decision. Caspiel.
It was too late. It didn't matter anyway.
Yeah. Maybe there was a world where he could have used that to safety instead. You know, going back under the turret, at least able to try and find some kind of trade. But it looked like, in a decision-wise, Team Malaysia didn't do it right this time.
I mean, they're trying to bait for something, obviously, but
yeah,
obviously not going to work when you have a numbers disadvantage like that.
On the map, that we did have Arashi walking across, and he had that Nature's Grasp online. So that's exactly what they were looking for, but he just took a little too long. So miscommunication is probably what's gone down there.
Yeah. I'm not surprised to see Shine taking the Scuttle Crabs here. I think at this point you just try to put as many resources into your top laner as possible, because that is the shining light. Do have Sleep doing pretty well on that Jace, 4-1-1 at the moment as well, so not having such a bad game. It is, you know, still within the grasp, I think, of Team Malaysia, and see what Team Thailand can do about it. But at the very least, the Team Thailand composition does scale a little bit better into this game than what they had previously. They don't have that sticking point, but great start to the fight from Shine.
There's that Nature's Grasp coming across, and it's going to hit almost. It will hit everyone. They're gone. Team Thailand, see you later. It's all over Red Rover, and that's going to be a free Herald for Team Malaysia. That is the team fight that might have just turned the tides enough.
Well, it was not a great setup for Team Thailand. They just didn't have enough vision. Trying to work their way in on top of that Rift Herald, and it does go pear-shaped. Sleep is going to look for the pick here on a Jinglu. Didn't quite have the flash. If the flash was available, the gap close could have been made, but he was just going to get out of there okay. Another Rift Herald though, and this time it's going over the way of Team Malaysia. Arashi is going to be taking that one for a bell.
Blowing things up. Sleep farming, getting lane pry over towards the top side and looking to maybe get that recall off. Okay. Decided not to do that one on Vision. Just looking at these rotations as well, you can see that Pillow is looking for something. He's going to try to play the Vision game. Hope to find something at mid here. Caspiel has been caught out multiple times. Don't think it's going to happen again, but see what he can do here. Still just on half HP. Playing real slowly. Team Thailand now just looking to take this bot T1, mid T1, try and find themselves an objective. But where's that pressure going? Looks like they are going to regroup at mid and try to go all in on it. Okay, we are going to have that Malphite coming through, and Philia is not going to be able to do anything to save his teammate. Didn't have the ult online. We are going to see an answer from Team Malaysia. Nature's Grasp coming through. There's damage, but it's just going to the minions. There's no one from Team Thailand that's taken that turret aggro. So it is just a disengage ult from Arashi this time.
That's a big investment for that initial kill. It was the Flash ultimate coming through from Malphite, Lux ulti and Senna ulti all down on top of one little Caspiel, but I guess you got to do what you got to do, right? And they're finding advantages in those team fights. It's an issue we sort of talked about for them in the previous game, where they were winning in the sense of they had the kills, they had the ability to win the team fights, but they were losing in the side lane. And it's again kind of the same sentiment. Team Thailand, they can get a lot of work done in these team fights with the Malphite, with the Vi, with the follow through coming through from you know, the back line. But they are definitely losing the side lane. So last game and this game, they have the same objective. It's win in the 4v4 or in the 5v4 and hope that you can outscale and do something there. But last game, they kind of threw it away in the 4v4. This game, they're doing a better job, right? They've got the big go signal, which is the Malphite ultimate. It's a very clear, distinct signal to the rest of the team to say, we are going to be fighting here. There's not going to be necessarily any miscommunication off the back of that. And so, looking a bit better for Team Thailand this game, but there is always that ticking time bomb of Shine in the side lane. Vladimir, when left unchecked, can get really, really dangerous in the late game, and he's already kind of at that point. He's got 2 items finished off, and he's starting to look towards potentially a upgrade for that Dark Seal as well.
Yes, Shine certainly a potential MVP for the whole damn series, carrying this one and doing work again. Nature's Grasp is going to be able to catch out Yuina, and it looks like he's not lasting for too long at all. Spirit Rush can be invested, but you can't get anywhere. And
that's much better, actually, from Arashi. I think that's what he probably should have been doing all game, right? Identify the strong lane that you've got, and Shine clearly is the strong point for Team Malaysia here. Play toward that. Not only does that help Shine get fed, but that also helps you get fed.
Yeah.
And when the difference is being made, you going down to the bot lane, giving up kills, or you going into the top lane, getting maybe an assist alongside Shine, I think it's an obvious choice.
Where to from here? From Thailand again. Going to look for some more answers, but just keep on getting picked off. Waiting for Yuina to respawn. And that next Drake is about 4 minutes away now. Baron is up for the taking, but I don't see any team really taking it too soon unless there's going to be some crazy team fight coming through. So we'll see if Pillow is going to be able to play his life well. Battling for vision there. Rashi using all his abilities to make sure there's no chance at a face check. Team Malaysia as well. Just trying to play the vision game. And looking just to slowly but surely scale on into the game. See what Shine can do over towards mid here. Over towards bot, sorry. Will he be able to go toe-to-toe with it Yummy? Just thinking about it. Yummy, however, wants none of that, and we are going to see a TP in. Looks like it is going to be this battle around the Baron, and already Sleep has gone, so that's a huge amount of that damage lost from Team Malaysia. And now we're going to see Team Thailand try to bait a fight. Arashi won't have the Nature's Grasp online, so there's not going to be a huge CC to come and cover them, but they are still hanging around. They are still seeing if Team Thailand are committed to Baron. Looks like the answer is they're not. They're just going to fall away, see if Team Malaysia do anything off the back of it. Let's see what they do. Just clearing that vision. Trying to fight to keep their control ward in there. Yummy. Be forced away. And there it is. Pillow, of course. Nice low cooldowns. That Q just to jump away to safety.
I mean, this is a super frustrating game for Shine. All he wants to do is be in the side lane, but his teammates keep getting picked and he keeps having to rotate up to try to keep the game alive. Oh, Arashi's going to get aggressive. This is a 5-on-4 engagement, though. The TP is coming through from Sleep.
Looks like there's about 10 or 15 seconds left before that Nature's Grasp is back online. And I think that's what they're trying to bait the time for. Arashi, they don't quite have vision of all of the members there, but they are looking for it. They're sitting in the Baron pit. They're looking for it. Okay, let's see if Yummy's going to be able to do anything. He does have the Malphite online. Nature's Grasp invested, but you can see Team Malaysia turning around on them. Shine, how much damage can he get done? It looks like they are just going to be running backwards now, hoping that they can get some picks in the meanwhile. Yuina not going to be able to land that charm, but he is looking to get as much damage as possible. Sayuma, of course, with decent range now as we're getting further and further into the game. But it's a handshake and everyone just falls away.
Yeah, it's just not really the kind of fight that you want to be taking as Team Malaysia. I mean, look at the team comp that you're going up against. This is a crazy team fighting comp. You've got Malphite followed up by Vi. Then you get the Senna ultimate coming through as well. Like, it's just too much to deal with as Team Malaysia. You want to be seeing Shine maybe get himself on the flank, Sleep get himself on the flank, find a pick here and there, or just find a way to not have a front-to-back team fight. Like, yes, it's good in the sense that you know that's kind of how the Zaya and the Milio do want to sort of take that fight, but you just don't really see the ability for Team Malaysia to get value out of their strong fed carries in a fight like that, because like Shine, he wants to have a little bit more of a prolonged fight. Sleep wants to have a little bit of a prolonged fight with the poke, or maybe just getting in on the side and blowing up one of the squishies. But in this case, right, it's just Team Thailand. They jump in, they blow one player up, they still have enough damage to get rid of Arashi straight away, and then once you see that follow through, it's just not quite enough for Team Malaysia, and so Thailand just finding themselves those small advantages. Malaysia have to look at the way they're playing this game out and see if they can find a better way to negotiate these fights.
Negotiations are hard, Jordan. We've known that for a long time, especially when we both have to lane together. Doesn't happen often. But look, again, Baron going to be the objective right now, and Team Malaysia, they are going all in, even though Pillow's up behind them. Can they get the vision? They will be able to get that yellow trinket in just in time, and it looks like it's going to be the attempt to steal, and it's blue team to secure it. See you later, Pillow. And now in the 4v5, let's see what they opt to do. There is a lot of low blue health bars there. Nature's Grasp going to use to try to escape. But we are going to see Arashi at least caught. And Team Thailand, they are looking to wipe away as many of these buffs as possible. But they haven't finished the members just yet. Sleep, he's low. So Arashi, just hit one of them. Hit any one of them, please. Team Malaysia, they are living. They are criminally alive. They have turned this one around. It's going to be a triple kill and maybe even more. Caspiel, he's died in the meanwhile, but it's an insane trade favoring Team Malaysia. There it is. The run for your life. Qinglu hitting the ground. And 3 survive from Team Malaysia. How has that happened, Elfish?
I just don't know what I'm watching at this point. I mean, this is absolutely chaos. Team Malaysia, they wanted to go for the base. Shine was trying to base in a bush that was watered, but in the end, look, they do manage to turn that one around. They get the Baron, they get the fight win. They're just getting a little bit too strong at this point, and a little bit of a misplay from Team Thailand to even allow that Baron to go through. It seemed like a miscommunication with It Yummy down at the Dragon. He was hitting the Dragon. Yeah. And Team Malaysia was like, all right, well, it's a 4v5. We'll just take the Baron. And Team Thailand tries to turn it back on its head, but they just don't quite have enough to get through it. Let's have a look at the replay of how that one played out. Yeah, I mean, Shine is recalling right on top of a ward, gets picked off by Ari in, you know, that's a good pickup. That's a good pickup, but Caspiel just finds this nice little flank, and there's no one really looking in his direction, able to cleanse straight up, get the Featherstorm through, and once you've got an angle like that as an ADC, okay, it does get picked off at the end by Jing Liu, but it was just a little bit too much.
It felt like, man, the target focus. Like,
there was no target focus, was
there?
So
many of those blue health bars were so low, and it must not have like a dedicated loud voice in the team for Team Thailand, because no one was saying, hey, let's hit this guy, hey, let's hit this guy. You know, there was no one dying on Team Malaysia, and that's an issue.
Yeah, there's going to be an ultimate coming through from It Yummy. And Sleep, I don't know, man. Like, I don't think he's going to go down super quick right here. Senna ulti does manage to connect, but, well, what's happening on the rest of the map? That's my question, because Team Malaysia, they are trying to collapse on top of Team Thailand. They opt in the end to just decide to push the mid lane, but in a sense, they're almost getting proxy farmed right here. Yeah,
both on the wrong side of the map here, so we'll see what ends up happening. Looks like we are going to see Team Thailand send a few more troops from that bot lane back towards mid, but Team Malaysia with the Baron buff are happy to go with the empowered minions and just get as much value out of this as possible, and they're not quite done yet. Felly is thinking about hanging around, just keeping the buff there to allow the minions to attack that base. See if they can make their way in. So, Team Thailand certainly on the back foot now. Let's see if they're going to be able to turn this around at any given point. There's a huge wave at top as well. That T2 should fall for sure, but Arashi, is he caught out a little bit too far? Looks like Team Thailand, they want it. Pillow, he is hungry as ever, trying to be that front line. But how's the space in Arashi? Can he get in the back line there? Looks like we are going to see Team Thailand a little bit spaced. Very awkward right now. Ewan is going to get chunked down by a huge bit of damage. Pillow jumps across the wall to safety. And it looks like there is just no commitment on either end just yet. But it is going to be this 5-on-5. Team Thailand a little worried about mid. Trying to go for the flank angle on the side, but we'll get back to base instead.
Yeah, the opportunity might have been there for Team Thailand when it was a 4-on-5, but now that Sleep is back up and has TP'd in, I'm not sure they're going to get too much. Great avoidance of the Malphite ultimate.
Ducking and weaving, doing real good work. Okay, there you go. The spark goes through them all. and it hasn't done enough damage. It's enabled Pillow to fall. Villia, in the meanwhile, won't be there to heal now, won't be there to get that cleanse off as he doesn't have the ult, but it is just the base that they have to run into because their health bars are too low. Team Malaysia, too big of a gold lead, 5k, a couple of items the difference, and the damage is just too much. So there goes your inhib, there goes part of your base, and there goes maybe any opportunity of Team Thailand coming back here in the series.
Yeah, I would say so. Very difficult for Team Thailand to get a good engage if Malaysia are playing around those ultimates properly.
Yeah.
Shine can use W, Caspiel can ulti. You don't really want to get an engage on anyone apart from those two and maybe Sleep. It kind of feels like, again, Felia is the punching bag actually for Team Malaysia right here. It's like kind of the only champion that can get killed by Team Thailand. So they're like, all right, well, we'll get the kill onto the Milio.
Yeah.
But what good is that really going to do you in the grand scheme of things as the fight just continues to progress the ways that it has been? 4k gold lead for Team Malaysia right now. Kills are completely even, but Team Thailand have just played that macro game a little bit worse. Trying to set something up here, Yummy. Go inside of the center pool and see if you can find an angle with that.
Nothing too crazy going on in terms of the item builds, but again, Shine, what is he, a whole item ahead of his lane opponent? Yummy just unable to keep up. And it's not the first game here, so I think Thailand certainly in a bit of a rough position. Okay, Shine's going to get charmed up, and it looks like Team Thailand are putting all their resources into this pick, but they might lose the mid lane in the meanwhile. Is it going to be worth it? We will find out right now. See you later, Shine. That's going to be a decent bounty claim, but can they defend the base? They won't be able to rotate over in time. There goes the tower, and maybe this mid inhib as well. Team Thailand coming in, but look, 4v5. Will they be able to turn this one around? The spark comes through fairly low, but they're just not doing the damage that they need to. Team Thailand are going to put Team Malaysia on the back foot, but in the meanwhile, it's just, there's no damage. The damage isn't there. Yes, Arashi had to turn this one around because Team Malaysia are filled with damage, filled with confidence, and it feels like the target focus, again, just not going to be enough. Arashi still alive at the back line. It's Yummy falling, and this might just be game. Caspiel going huge with a triple. And that might be the 2-0.
Yeah, you'd have to say that it is. You've got 20 seconds on the death timer for Ari, and beyond that, it's looking pretty damn grim. Jingliu, once again, in the same scenario he was last game, trying solely as a support to defend the Nexus, but it is well and truly over. Team Malaysia will secure the 2-0.